does a ketogenic diet fail? Why do so many fail at keto? There's so many different contexts, right? People doing diets for different reasons. But I'd say the number one reason why people fail with keto, or most diets or fat loss strategies, is you're just looking at it as a fad. Most people are looking at a diet as a short-term solution to what's a long-term issue in their lives. Right? We can't just look for a quick fix, magic pill diet that's gonna make everything right. You know, people start getting into health and fitness, and they start searching around on YouTube, right? They find some random advocate talking out of their mom's basement, right? LARPing as an expert online. They get shitty advice. They think that they've found the ultimate holy grail of diet. Intermittent fasting, or keto, or carnivore diet. And they jump right into it. But it's like a flavor of the week thing for a lot of people. People don't understand that short-term diets are long-term failures. What we need to create is a foundation of solid habits that we can stick with the rest of our life. If you want to make body composition changes, if you want to lose body fat, if you want to decrease inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, if you want to feel better and enjoy these dietary changes, it can't just be a short-term crash diet. It can't just be like, I'm going to lose some weight real quick with keto, or I'm going to do this keto thing because this person's doing it, that person's doing it, and they seem kind of cool. And we've got to find a way of living that suits us, that we can do for a long period of time. So don't just look at keto if you're starting out as this quick fix thing. You've got to look at it as a long-term habit. Now, you've got to learn how to prepare keto foods. You've got to be able to nourish yourself on high-fat, low-carbohydrate foods, right? That's one of the things that a lot of people miss, is simply navigating the kitchen. You know, when I first started trying to get healthy, 21 years old, had no idea how to prepare food for myself. Shoot, I had no idea how to make food until I was like 25 years old. I didn't know what I was doing in the kitchen. I didn't know how to cook a steak. I didn't know how to go shopping, how to read labels. So that's one of the first things, just learning how to cook nutrient-dense keto foods. Now, the foundation of a ketogenic diet is going to be whole, unrefined animal foods, animal fats and proteins, like we've been teaching here for years. We require a certain amount of amino acids. We require protein. No matter if you're on a ketogenic diet or a carbohydrate-based diet, there are essential amino acids as well as essential fatty acids that we require in the diet, and these come from animal foods. So meat, steak, eggs, grass-fed butter, animal fats, bone marrow, right? And not everybody's ready to go for that stuff, but you know, stuff like marrow, heart, liver, some of the most nutrient-dense parts of the animals, most people have never even eaten. Or they think they might be gross, even though they never tried them. So actually, you know, learning to prepare food for yourself is important. Getting sufficient protein as the cornerstone of a ketogenic diet, or a carbohydrate-based diet even, if you're trying to make beneficial body composition changes. So you've got to get enough protein. It's one mistake a lot of people make on keto, not getting enough protein. They get told that gluconeogenesis turns protein into glucose, and that this is for some reason bad. Gluconeogenesis is required on a ketogenic diet. You need to go into ketosis properly. You need to be creating some glucose from either the backbone of fatty acid or from certain amino acids. So on a carnivore diet, on a ketogenic diet, you're going to be turning some glucose. You're going to be turning some protein into glucose and some fats into glucose as well. So don't be afraid of the protein. There's minimum protein requirements. We got to get enough. I usually recommend about 1.5 to 2.2, sometimes more, gram per kilogram of your ideal body weight or your lean body mass in protein. That's sufficient protein. All right, so get protein. That's the cornerstone of each one of your meals. Fat's going to be the energy source, and carbs are going to stay low. All right. So a lot of people are gravitating towards a more carnivorous diet. I've been doing an off and on carnivorous style diet for a couple years now. For the last like year and a half, it's been almost all animal foods. I got nothing against plants. I don't think plants are toxic or plants are evil or plants are bad. But I've come to learn over the years that they're just not necessary in my context. Now, should you eat just like me? Probably not. Will I eat just like me 5 years from now? Who knows? Right? Our diets are in constant flux. It's like you eat the same thing every day for a few months and then you switch your taste a little bit. Right? You get sick of that same meal. You switch it up. But animal foods, animal fats are the cornerstone of a ketogenic diet. So another reason a lot of people fail, other than not knowing how to prepare food. By the way, if you're looking for a good resource on preparing nutrient-dense, whole, unrefined keto foods, you got to check out my wife's book. Jessica made the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, the training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. We've got it available in print now, as well as an ebook. The ebook's much cheaper, but the print book is just so pretty. It's nice to have in your hands. And we call it a training manual because it's there to teach you actually how to form a solid foundation of keto nutrition and how to navigate your keto kitchen, how to master that space. Most of us have never prepared food for ourselves, but fret not, it's not that hard. Simple, unrefined whole foods. You don't have to spend hours, you shouldn't spend hours in the kitchen all the time making keto foods. Most of us don't live at home. Most of us don't have mom to cook for us. Most of us don't have the time to be wasting hours a day trying to make fake gourmet meals all the time. You can make good gourmet keto food with high quality ingredients with minimal time and minimal energy spent. So yeah, check out the book. It's available exclusively on our website. There's a little link in the description down below. Another reason a lot of people fail on a ketogenic diet is they don't know what the hell they're doing. People are jumping on the internet, jumping on YouTube, getting advice from people that are just parroting and repeating shit that they've heard other people parrot and repeat online because these people are trying to make a buck. I've seen a massive influx of keto content online, much of which is just parroting useless information, much of it is just confusing and confounding just for the sake of being confusing. There's some people who make an entire business model out of trying to confuse people about these diets, when in reality it's relatively simple, right? Get sufficient protein. Fat is your energy source. Carbs stay low. Micronutrients can be important. Electrolytes of crucial importance for a lot of people when you're first adapting to these diets. Many people don't realize that your intake of salt needs to increase when you decrease carbohydrate. When you lower your insulin levels, your kidneys will excrete more sodium. There's a narrow bandwidth of sodium that we need in our blood. We require sodium, we require electrolytes for generating energy in the body. We need sodium. Salt is not bad. So you've been told to be afraid of salt. You've been told to be afraid of fat. You've been told to be afraid of meat. It's a big thing for a lot of us to get over these phobias, these fears have been propagandized into us, which has resulted in negative health consequences for the entire population who's basically fed on grain nowadays. So not knowing what you're doing, right? Taking bad advice. Overthinking it is another reason why a lot of people fail. They're listening to this guru, that guru, tell them you gotta measure your ketones 10 times a day. You gotta measure your blood ketones all the time. You gotta eat this food, that food. If you're not doing it this way, you're doing it wrong. Some people are just getting decision fatigue. Listening to 10 different gurus online and not just sitting down, writing down a simple plan and starting. Right, so paralysis by analysis is another major issue. Right? So we've got to create a solid foundation of habits that we can move forward into the future long term. A ketogenic diet is not going to do the work for us. We've got to create the habits. Right? Now some of the benefits of a ketogenic diet, a ketogenic diet, or a carnivorous diet are going to be stable blood glucose, stable energy throughout the day, lowered inflammation, improvements in cognition due to shifts in neurotransmitter production, mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning just more mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cell, which enable us to burn fat very effectively. Now, there are many benefits to a ketogenic diet. Fat loss being one of the major side effects of keto for many people. Not as hard as you think. Not this incredibly difficult, super complicated thing. Build a foundation of the basics. Learn how to make your own keto foods, navigate your kitchen, get rid of the junk food from the pantry, get rid of the grains, get rid of the bread, get rid of the sugar, get rid of the pasta. and build a foundation of habits eating nutrient-dense, unrefined, fatty animal foods. If you do well with the veggies, have those seasonal local veggies. Keep those carbs low, burn fat for energy, get sufficient protein, lather, rinse, repeat. Oh yeah, and of course, get your electrolytes in. But anyways, if you guys want some more help, we've got the Keto and Carnivore Collective for this next month is starting on Sunday. So we do every other month, we do our community coaching session, the Keto and Carnivore Collective. It's a way that we're able to handle the amount of clientele that we get requesting for private coaching, and we're able to actually give you more time, more energy, and it's just a better situation because you kind of get that community love, you know. We get, usually ends up being 10 to 50 individuals per month in the Keto and Carnivore Collective. We actually had to add the word carnivore to the Keto and Carnivore Collective because so many people are becoming more interested in kind of the way that I do it, the way I've been doing it for a few years now, a more carnivorous style approach where you're eating organ meats, marrow, lots of meat and fat, right? Some people do better on the very low fiber diet, depending on if you've got autoimmune conditions, stuff like that. We've had a lot of interest in carnivore diet, so much so that we had to add the name to our community coaching experience here. But we're stoked to have so many people interested in carnivore. Obviously it's not for everybody, but for people with autoimmune conditions, and you know, some people just trying to explore different dietary pathways who are interested in performance, in improving their mental cognition, in improving their physique. We've seen a lot of people do really, really well. But the main thing that I see carnivory benefiting people with is major autoimmune issues. I mean, people who have had, you know, done ketogenic diet for a long time and didn't think they could get any better with their symptoms are getting much better results by pulling out the plants for whatever reason. There are many theories on why. We get into that in many other videos here. I'm not going to get into it now, but very, very interesting. So anyways, if you want to get down the Keto and Carnivore Collective, we're starting that this Sunday. We usually do every other month, but we had some requests for an October session. So I think we're going to do October. We might even do November too if there's more people who want to get in on it. Uh-oh. Got my boy Ribeye here. What's up, buddy? What's up, Goofy? He's getting big. He's getting big. He's getting big. He wants so much attention. He's so lovey. Alright, so yeah, the next Keto and Carnivore Collective starting this Sunday. Get the book if you're interested in learning how to make your own nutrient-dense, unrefined keto meals. Jessica spent a lot of time and energy making that book. It was a labor of love. And yeah, keep it simple, guys. A ketogenic or carnivore diet doesn't have to be this crazy pie in the sky, super difficult thing. The adaptation period is the hardest, but if you know what you're doing and you got your bases covered, you're good. So create the foundation, create the habits that you can enjoy reaping the benefits of for the rest of your life, and you're good. Don't let keto fail for you. Don't let carnivore fail for you. Do it the right way. You can find more at primaledgehealth.com. If you want to get on the Keto and Carnivore Collective, hit us up. The link's down below in the description. Now get off the damn computer. Get off social media. Quit arguing with people about nonsense. Go live your life.